Hello everyone, so it is 2 p.m. right now and I'm just on my break, and before I was going to go back into work I wanted to quickly mention how much I finished for the day. So I did end up finishing The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins right before I got into work this morning. Yesterday I was able to finish like 220 pages of the book. While I was trying to get to sleep, I listened to the audiobook a little bit more and I ended up finishing a lot more, and then this morning I got up a little early to edit my video. So like I mentioned earlier, I woke up a little earlier today to finish up my vlog for yesterday, and so I was able to like post everything and then listen to the audiobook and finish The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. I have to say I really enjoyed it. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Like I mentioned yesterday, this is a thriller, so I can't really tell you much about this book unless you want to get spoiled or something, which I'm assuming you don't want to. It is a good book. I was a little baffled by the ending. Kind of saw it coming, sort of. Like there were clues to find out who the killer was, and I figured it out after those clues were like scattered around. It was fine, like I got it, but just the motive was just out of the world, and it was a little chaotic, a little too much, but I understand the motive and everything, and it was just a well-written story. I really liked it. It was fun to read it. And also I can't really say this is a great thriller book or anything because I don't have anything to compare it to. I'm assuming you know that I don't really read thrillers a lot, so it was fun still. I had a lot of fun reading it. Big thumbs up from me. Also during my break I started reading Everything by Nicola Yoon, and I'm about 70 pages into the book, and it's fine. Like it's a good book, but I think physically reading it is just going to make it look better. It's more visually appealing rather than just listening to the audiobook. The audiobook is great so far, but still the visual aspect of this book is also really good. Some like letters, emails, diary entries and stuff, which is fun to actually physically see it if possible. But yeah, the audiobook is still great and I'm enjoying it. I've already watched the movie for this book, which is what I picked this book for, like watch the movie and then read the book. I watched this movie like a couple years ago, so I know exactly what the story is, and yeah, I've heard the book is pretty much the same thing but in a book format. It's fine. But that's where we're at right now. My break is done, so I'm gonna go back into work, and I'll see you guys later. Hopefully I will read a little bit more later after 5 or so. Let's see what will happen, but for now I'm just gonna go. Bye. It's currently after 5 o'clock. It is raining pretty heavily. I've read a little bit more of Everything by Nicola Yoon. I'm at 120 pages right now, so I'm close to halfway. If I really set my mind to it, I can actually finish this book tonight. I don't know if I'm going to just yet, but I feel like I can. Hopefully I'll get around to actually finishing the book. Everything falls around this girl named Madeline, or Maddie, who is allergic to everything. So she's basically isolated in her house and is living with her mother, and quite often she gets visited by just a nurse, and that's pretty much it. That's the only companion she really has in her life, and that's it. She lives all by herself in this house, and she's been doing that for the past 15 years because she knows that she has this very rare disease that if she actually leaves her house and comes into contact with anything outside, she will be allergic to it and potentially die. So she's been isolated for so long, and then one day a new neighbor moves in and she kind of starts to gain a liking towards this boy, and she starts to contact him a little bit more, and once they get into contact, things happen. There's like a small romance going on and everything like that. It's pretty cute. Like I've said a billion times already, I've watched the movie, I really enjoyed it, so I think I'm gonna really like this one too. Alright, since it's raining outside, I want to go and see it raining, and I don't know if I'm gonna read outside because it might be a little cold, and also I don't like outside, so it's fine. Bye! It is currently 11:20 and I finished reading Everything by Nicola Yoon, and I gave it a 3 stars out of 5. It's basically exactly like the movie. There's no difference really to it. I knew what happened in the movie, so I knew exactly what was going to happen in the book as well. But I don't know, it just Usually movies are a lot different than the books I expected. Something different, something more, but it was basically the same thing. I guess good on the movie guys, but still, I don't know. I just didn't really love the character Ollie. That was like the main love interest of our main character Maddie in this book, who, like I mentioned earlier, cannot leave her house because she's very allergic to everything and she could die. So she is basically diagnosed with this thing called SCID, but it's pretty old book and there's a movie on it, so it's not super spoilery if I really tell you anything, I guess. But yeah, it was fine. I read it. I finally got it off my to read list, so that's that. But yeah, for sure I can say that Nicola Yoon is a good storyteller. There are some interesting tidbits in here where she inserted like emails, little drawings and stuff, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, those were a lot of fun to read, but yeah, it was an okay book. But yeah, it was an okay book. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm probably not gonna be reading anything for the rest of the night. But for tomorrow, I actually have a lot of audiobooks on hand. I think I mentioned that I wanted to read the Dragon Republic if it actually came on time, and I do have the Dragon Republic on hold, but I also have like some Brandon Sanderson books that I could potentially read. So that's there too. The other two books, if I want to like follow my prompts, are Nevermore and Legendborn. Both of them I have to read physically because there are no audiobooks that I can personally find, so I will have to read them physically and I just need to make time for that separately. Whereas if I were to read any kind of audiobook, I definitely have some things on hand. I kind of want to read Muse of Nightmares, but I wasn't really enjoying the audiobook, so I was reading it physically. That's also there on the list. I guess I might just pick that up and finish it, but I'm not sure. I wasn't enjoying the audiobook, so I don't want to like hate the book or anything. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that. And just to quickly go over what all prompts I finished, I'm gonna grab my planner here. So the prompt of read a different type of story than you usually do. I read a mystery thriller, an adult thriller mystery, which was The Girl on the Train. And if I kind of slack, I could potentially use this as a book that starts with the word "the." And yeah, I could potentially do that, but I'm also thinking of reading The Dragon Republic. We watched the movie and read the book. I read Everything by Nicola Yoon already. The book, outside of the continent that you're living in, I already read Romancing the Duke. Wasn't it? Yeah, Romancing the Duke by Tessa Dare 2 days ago. Yeah. So I still have read a book with my birthstone on it. First book that I touched, I essentially did like a random.org thing, and that was also Legendborn, so I will just combine those two and it's fine. Read a book outside is Nevermore for me, so yeah, I am pretty good with my challenges so far. I feel like I can finish a majority of them, but I also really want to read, what is it called? Star Daughter, I believe it was called. I have an arc for that and I'm supposed to finish reading it by August something because I have to post like a review on it, and I haven't gotten to that yet, so I need to work on that. So we'll see. First I need to finish my prompts and then hopefully I can get into Star Daughter. But that's where we're at right now. I hope you guys had an amazing day 3 of the reading rush. I finished The Girl on the Train today and also finished Everything by Nicola Yoon, and it was great. I'm really happy with how my reading went today. I will see you all tomorrow with another one. Until then, I'll talk to you all in the comments.